Hi, I'm Candace Bohannon, one of the core team members of AWS She Builds Tech Skills here in North America. What you're about to see is a compilation of some amazing AWS women builders who participated in the Builders Fair at AWS reInvent 2024. So, what is Builders Fair, you might ask? This is an event akin to a science fair where reInvent attendees can engage with projects that catch their attention. We definitely have a high bar for quality and educational standards for the projects that are chosen to be here at the Builders Fair, but it is also designed to be really scrappy and engaging. We want people to feel free to geek out with the creators and discuss how these technologies and solutions could be applied to solve their problems. So really, you could look at the Builders Fair. It's a lot like a science fair for AWS projects, but without the volcanoes. So with that explanation, now I'll go ahead and roll the video and let you see some of the really cool projects and brilliant women who created them.
Hello, Rudy Chetty here at the Builders Fair, and it's awesome. Check out these cool exhibits. More importantly, one of the ones I stumbled upon is two-way ASL translator. So, we're going to ask Alexa here, and no, she's not an Alexa-enabled Echo.
Not
Alexa, tell us about the two-way ASL translator.
Yeah, so as the name suggests, we're
Yes.
building an American Sign Language translator.
Okay.
We're back. This is our third year in a row at reInvent.
Congrats.
Thank you. It started off as a robotic hand where
Okay.
people would come up to the microphone and it would do finger spelling.
Uh-huh.
And we were like, we could do better. We could make this more universal.
Iterative approach.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's when we built our avatar last year.
Little avatar. Okay, I see,
So
I see.
you can see it finger spelling right now. It goes from audio or text
Yes.
to ASL. It's powered by Unreal Engine, and we're using Bedrock to do semantic simplification and to get the grammar correct for ASL, mapping it from English to ASL, and
Okay.
then ultimately the avatar finger spells it out. Or we also have a word bank, so if it's in the word bank, it does the sign. Otherwise, it defaults to finger spelling.
Yes.
Very similar to what we had last year. We just added new languages. Now, instead of speaking in English, you can speak in, we have a bunch of languages to choose from,
Sure.
so cool things like that.
So nice to you. And it's built on AWS.
All on AWS,
Yeah,
yes. This setup here is going from ASL to text. So you can see I have my little video set up. And I have this word bank of words that can sign. So right now, very early stages, prototype phase, so we can't just sign anything. We can do any finger spelling, but in terms of actual non-static signs, we're working with this. So I'm going to go ahead and sign happy. I hit record, and then it gives me a 5-second countdown to get in position. And then, so yeah, I just did the sign. It's converting it to a GIF and then processing it, and in a moment it'll give me the translated sign. So I'll walk you through the diagram in just a moment. Yeah, and then there you have it. It translated it correctly to happy, which is pretty cool. But so what's happening is we have our web app here, and then when I record my GIF, or my video, it gets converted to a GIF, which you can see this is what the GIF looks like. That gets sent to S3, which automatically triggers a Lambda function to do the ASL conversion. So that calls Bedrock. And what Bedrock is doing is it's taking our word bank. We have this word bank, and then we also have a detailed description for what every word looks like. So for happy, we're saying like it has two hands and like it moves in this up and down motion. Obviously we have it more detailed than that, but anyways, Bedrock, our LLM, goes through all of the descriptions. It chooses based on the GIF it gets, which it is most likely to be, and then that gets returned, and that's how to get happy. So yeah, that's at a high level what we have going on here, and looking forward to continuing to iterate and hopefully be back next year.
See, folks, what is possible with the cloud and talented people like Alexa. And again, clarification, not Echo Alexa,
Not an ad.
solutions architect Alexa.
Yeah.
So thank you for showing me this. We'll thank our viewers and hope to see you soon.
Hi, my name is Jeeri. I am a solution architect from India. I am a part of the ISV team. And today we are here in the Builders Fair, and I have made an app which is called Boom Bam Comic Fam Draw Your Jam. And what it does is basically turns your doodles into comic strips. So you draw doodles and it turns something into a 8-panel comic strip. So how we can get started is we click on create a comic strip. Let's say I draw a house. If I click on interpret drawing, what happens is basically we use Bedrock Anthropic Claude V 3.5 V2 model, and it interprets that image like how a child would interpret it. Basically, now if you see here, it's like a lonely house dreams of visitors, decides to grow legs and explore the world. So now if you click on continue, we can select a style. Let's say I selected a style for my comic strip, and I select a story tone, whether I want it to be magical or inspirational. I just select inspirational for now, and I do a generate comic. So these are the things which you have inputted, the story, the style. What it does is now it takes that one description, generates a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and everything is done by Amazon Bedrock Anthropic model. Once the storyline is generated, it generates a character. The main character here is Maya. What we do, the next step is again use Anthropic to generate the character description. So the character description, how Maya looks like, what she wears, what kind of shoes she wears, her complexion, what age she is. We need this to be very consistent. We need the characters to be consistent across the strip. Hence, we want it to be as descriptive as possible. And then what it basically does is the next step of the architecture after character is the panel outline, where we take the story, we take the character, and we split the entire story into 8 panels. So if you see here, it generates 8 panels, what each panel would look like. If you see here, each panel, the girl, what she's doing, how the lighting is there, what kind of speech bubble it should be there, what are the captions. So everything is again generated via Amazon Bedrock Anthropic model. Once we do that, after that we generate the diffusion prompt. So diffusion prompts, till now everything was a text-based LLM, but we want to generate an image. So we are using an image model called Flux, and we are hosting it on Amazon SageMaker. And the last step is what we do is we take all these prompts, how the story, the characters, and everything, and we pass it into an image-based model. And this is how the final image comes through it. So if you see, I just drew a scribble of a house, and the title is The House That Found Its Heart. And this is the entire comic strip it generated. This is your original doodle. You can scan this QR code to download that entire comic strip. And the applications for this is mainly, if you see, in the advertising segment and the marketing segment, where you can just have a small idea and it automatically creates an entire product or a marketing campaign for you. You can have your children drawings which you have on refrigerators. Just click a picture of it and you can generate an entire comic strip and you can gift it to them. So it's a cool way, and it has a lot of applications in the industry as well. So that's it.
Hi, I'm Fabrianne Effendi, an Associate Solutions Architect at AWS. Today we're presenting to you Catch Me If You Can, our project. So essentially, Catch Me If You Can is an immersive virtual reality game where you'll be able to act as a financial crimes detective to identify money laundering flows. So you can see here, over here is a game demo. Just wait for it a bit. Essentially, when you have criminal activity detected and suspicious money laundering attempts reported, what you need to do is try to identify these laundering flows over here. So your mission will be to just find these patterns, which are usually more like clustered, more interconnected compared to the non-laundering flows. And yeah, and you can see over here how we also give a very immersive experience of like the spaceship and all that for them to learn those laundering patterns. Yeah, so it's a 360-degree view of how it works. So you can see my colleague over here is actually trying out this MetaQuest 3 now over here. So over here you'll be able to see the whole experience. Here's the architecture of Catch Me If You Can. We built the entire project using purely JavaScript. So traditionally, when you build games, actually you would need to use like game engines like Unreal Engine or Unity. But this time we use purely JavaScript. So what this means is that it's actually hosted on the web browser, the WebXR browser. So let's say you want to use the MetaQuest 3, Apple Vision Pro, or even have it on your devices like phone or tablet. this is totally possible. Because all you have to do is that key in that link and you'll be able to access our game. So now I'll explain more about our architecture itself. We actually host all the static assets on the S3 bucket. And from here, this is delivered, the content is delivered to Amazon Cloud Fabric, where we have all the, it will be distributed to all the edge locations. And at the back end, you can see we have used a serverless kind of architecture, so API gateway as well as Lambda functions for easy scalability. And all our data, be it our data, transactional data as well as our player data, are stored on DynamoDB and DocumentDB respectively.
Hi everyone, I'm Caroline de Rocher. I'm an SA here at AWS and I work in our Montreal office in Canada. And this is our project. It's called There's No Room for an Immersive Shipmate. So the idea here is that we have a physical shipmate that represents an AWS workload, and we find different rooms in our ship which all represent different AWS practices. And the main goal here is to have an LT ship, so which means you don't have any disruption, you're following all the best practices with AWS. So let me show you how it works. So to make this fun and to give our customers the chance to play and test the different AWS services and have hands-on experience, we give them access to a console where they have a web page with the different services, and when they click a button, they get access to the console with restricted permission related to that services. And we have a GenAI chatbot that guides them through how to resolve those disruptions that are created. There's 4 players. One of them is a malicious player, which means he can create even more disruption in the ship. So the 3 other players needs to play against the clock and against that malicious player and try to resolve them faster than he can create them. So let me show you a bit more our UI and our game. So here is the admin panel where we can control the game. We can start and reset our game or just do a demo if we want to test the different LEDs on our physical shipmate. And this is a digital version of the game. It's all connected to a Raspberry Pi to be able to keep track of the game. And then we have already started a game. So now here we can see a player web page. He has the chat. He can interact with it, asking questions on what's happening in those rooms. The red light indicate that there's a disruption going on, and we'll guide him through on how to resolve it. So now let's look at what's happening behind all this UI and our ship and look at what we built. So the entire solution was created and deployed using our CDK, AWS CDK, and we have 2 main accounts. So one main account where we control everything, our admin page, where all the game status is happening, our game operator via APIs and Lambda function, and our DynamoDB table who keeps track of all the game status and connect with our physical game. And then we have a console dedicated to our shipmate, which is the AWS workload. And we see here the different rooms, which represent different services. And to make sure we control all the permission of those rooms, we use IAM permission. In terms of the UI and the players, we are doing a static hosting with CloudFront and S3, and all the permission are created via the Amazon Cognito service to manage all the permission of our players. So that's our game, and hope you can play.
Hi, I'm Susana Duran. I'm Enterprise Support Manager, and I'm demoing this corporate project at the Builders Fair. This is a GenAI-based project, and also we have some hand plotters here that you will see now in the demo. First, let's look at the architecture of our demo. It's a standard architecture. We're using a browser with the AWS SDK that is connected with a Lambda that it's orchestrating everything sending the images that we are taking from the browser to recognition, to DynamoDB, and then QuickSight that it's going to show just a summary of everything that we are doing. We are using stable diffusion models for this, and then we are also using IoT Core just to send all these pictures that we are taking into the different laptops. This is the demo. We have a simple just screen where we are showing 3 different options. First one, it's just famous paintings. We have generated them also with a stable diffusion. Second one, it's superheroes. We have different superheroes that again we have generated. They are not real images. And the third one are random characters. So what we need to do is just pick one of them, take a picture, let's say this one. And what we're doing now is sending this image to our service. This image is distributed into the 3 different GenAI models that we have. But first, we are checking that there's a face behind it. We are checking that the face, we are taking some of the attributes of this face to Amazon recognition. And once everything is just validated, we are going to transform it and we are going to get the replacement of my face. And this is the first one that I just selected. The second one is a Andrew style picture. And the third one is a Pixar Disney style model of myself. Just the attendees can just download each of these pictures, scanning the QR code, and they can also have the printed version that you will see after this demo. So what we are doing here is just transforming the bitmap images into vectors, so they can be or printed in this one. It's a normal printer, or we can print it in the other that it's just taking the vector and it's drawing like a hand style drawing in the street. So that's another thing that we are also doing. And the last part is this one. And here you have its final version. So not exactly neat, but
Hey, my name is Jane Ridge. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect with AWS, and welcome to Defending the Realm adventure game. So this was born of a love of my children. They love to play board games and board games with me, and so I thought, how can we combine AWS services and how to learn them in a gamified way while keeping the traditional board game. So in this game, basically you choose your character. We've tried to keep a diverse group of characters available. So you can pick who you want to be. You put it on the troll, and he will welcome you, and you can scan the QR code to get started. Okay, so now I'm going to do Management Magician, and I'm going to be learning about the realm of how to manage AWS services at scale. And in this realm, it tells me to scan the QR code. So I'm going to pull that up. And my services are going to be Identity Center Config, AWS Config, AWS Control Tower, and AWS Cloud Trail. So I'm going to go Let's Play. And in this case, I want to be managed. I'm going to say I want to be, again, I can pick another persona that I want. So I'm just going to pick Jane because I want to be the Jane persona, but I could be Magician Mike. And in this case, I'm going to pick Easy. Let's say I'm newer to AWS services. So I'm on my Walkman jamming along and I stumble across a bridge. Here lies Cloudoria, once powerful kingdom that was taken over by Mist. The Mist stole the artifacts powering the kingdom to bring balance to the realm, to bring balance, answer the questions and find the clues. So to control access the application, could I use AWS Identity Center? I absolutely could. So I'm going to say, yes, I can. And when I say yes, it's nice job. Move your piece to the Identity Center logo on the bridge. So it says, and so it's blinking. You walk closer, another sign for the entrance. Wait, once you answered out loud, one of the lights, it changed to green. So now my tree is healthy. I'm slowly healing the forest. This realm used to utilize Okta Universal Directory. Could they have connected that to their AWS environment? Absolutely, they could. So I'm going to come back. And so in this case, it's going to blink and say yes. Move your piece to the CloudTrail icon. And in this case, I've changed another tree to green. You hear some strange noises in the distance. So someone laughing. That was creepy. What could that be? Either way, you're determined to help the realm. Which AWS services is best suited for archiving the realm's records? That would be obviously S3, where you can manage objects at scale. Correct. Another belly laugh. What's going on here? Looks like there's a pattern. The realm has been riddled with verbal decrees and long-winded arguing. If you want to meticulously comb records to find decision made, which AWS record could help? CloudTrail can help me comb my records. So in this case, all right, nice work. We're going to move to the config icon. All three of my trees are now turning green. It's a good sign. Do you want to go to the waterfall or bypass it if it's a trap? I'm going to bypass it. In this case, smart move. This is no ordinary water. There's been a curse. So now you want to look at what AWS service tracks configuration changes. That's AWS config. It looks like trees are all coming to life. True or false, you can monitor multiple resources in different regions through a centralized account with config. That is true. Should we go closer to the old house or avoid it? I think we're going to go closer. All right, and then finally, what's the magic word? Everything is working. We're the abandoned house. We start hearing these words. They sound like clues. What's the magic word? We're going to say abracadabra because we are in Vegas after all. And that is correct. And all of a sudden, the land magically returns to its former glory. The hooded figure you've seen in the land unveils himself to be the famous magician Beth Jesus. You are in shock. The trees are happy, and you have unlocked the realm. You are now a management maven.